Alright, last round of the game in Pantheon, and we draw ourselves a new one. We're going to get Greece, and we already discussed that. I don't remember quite what it does. 7-card swip swap. I think everybody drops or rises to a 7-card hand, yeah. That's bad for people who've worked to plan. Now, obviously, once you realize you're down to 3 things, you could have said, oh wow, I want to use my cards in the event that Greece comes up. But on the other hand, it is nice to enter into a phase with a big hand. This is going to be a disadvantage for anyone who held on to a lot of cards. It looks like, this guy's only got 4. That's not too bad. But some of them, I think, have a pretty decent sized stash, and that's going to hurt them. Blue was the one most hurt. They lost a pile of cards. Now, at this point in the game, just looking at where the values are, gods are the value. Gods are what you want. 6 points a pop for each god. And remember, you still get the person who plays last gets a bonus still of 3 points for taking the last god. But the other things out here, this can help you get a god, but is it worth going for? Same over here. A foot, very unlikely to be terribly useful. Gold, again, unlikely to be useful. There's a god, that's kind of cool. There are a couple of columns open. Blue might be interested in scooping down this way if they can. They're built up so that they produce feet nicely. Getting one more column, it's not going to drop them into another level. They'll still be at the $3 per column. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, they have a lot. They'll be 1 short of the full boat if they pick this one up. But it's really unlikely that they'll pick this one up and another one. They've got so many on the board. The only free spots that they can reach are there, and then way over here and over there. It's going to be really hard to get more than 1 column. So we're talking about a 3-point bonus for that. But it might be worth curving this way for them. In fact, it certainly would be if they can get that. Now they have the first play. The big winner here, green got like 3 extra cards. Yellow had to drop a card, red was even. For the actual gods, we have some that produce an extra god, and that's a lot of points at this point in the game. 12 points for picking one of them up. People are targeting them. They got to discard already, or maybe draw cards, but they have actions that they want to tailor their hand towards getting those gods, because those are really, really valuable at this point. Some of these others, well, they're valuable too, and they're perhaps cheaper. It's going to be hard to get, say, 6 of one type and 1s of others. But the people who have a big 4 hit on them, hey, they're in good position for that, actually. And in this first round, we can see how much the game has changed. A couple of the players, blue and red, did purchase actions, buy stuff, get themselves in position, buy gods or whatever. Blue actually bought some movement to get them close to what they want. A lot of interesting calls there, right? But then yellow and green, I believe, both played in order to draw new cards, to position themselves for gods that way. Because there's basically 2 ways you can get it. You can buy these things, which is what the purchasing people have done, to up their ability, well, along with other stuff, but in order to up their ability to get one of the gods. Or you can draw the cards that you need to buy the god outright, if you think you're close. But now blue gets the first shot at them. Now blue's in an interesting position where they can get a free god this way, but if they position correctly, they can get 2 by moving that way. Of course, they kind of want the column. Everybody kind of wants a couple of those columns. Some of the people are so far behind, though, that they're not even really able to get to that 3-point easily. So they've got to kind of count their columns and see how easy is it going to be to get to that level. Are the gods going to fall before I get a chance? And this kind of decision making is very different. Of course, blue is so far behind at this point that they really, really need to grab some ground here. And they're kind of in the strongest position to do so. They also got their 2 bonus cards. I keep forgetting about that. They get that after the resolution of all the setup for the new era. So after they dropped to 7 cards, they got the new cards. That's kind of cool for them. Well, blue bought themselves a god. Got a bonus god, an extra turn. That throws them right into the pack in points. 12 more points. Bang, that's nice. Red said, wow, I've got a lot of cool stuff, a lot of feet in my hand. And they spread out pretty much to the maximum. Now, to do anything else, they've got to pause and buy stuff. But they've gotten themselves into that third tier, 3 points per column. That's a big deal to build things up. They also managed to grab themselves a couple of these tokens. One of these is an upgrade. I got to look at that and decide what I'm going to do. But they also grabbed a god tile, which gets them 2 minor gods. That's going to be some points. Ooh, some nice points there. As well as the 6 points for a god for this period. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And probably a tile that'll help them get their next god. Now, if they had a second turn piece at this point, bang, they'd be coming in and probably picking themselves up another god. And given their strong standing here, 3 1s and a 4, they may well be set up to pick that guy up if they had gotten lucky. They didn't. For yellow, green, and blue, none of them had a movement action that made any sense. So they each took the draw card. Blue, poor them, they got cut off here. Red managed to do the jump action and build all over the place. Of course, I'm not sure how... There's a little fuzziness in the rules on how this works. Certainly it seems to me that they should be allowed to build off of it in that turn, but now on their next turn they may have to do the jump to start here. It's not really nicely defined in there. I feel like there's a little bit of shakiness in terms of how the rules are decided. I got to figure out where he's going, and then we move to yellow's turn. Well, a couple of those gods fell here. I believe the extra god giving him this. So yellow got the big jump there. Nice move for them. That left the best thing. Now green was counting on getting one of them 6/1/1s, 6/1/1/1 gods that give you an extra god. This was the best he could get. It's going to give him an extra move. That may allow him to grab a god quicker than someone else. Blue also has the extra move. Wasn't able to convert through card draws, basically having to take all random draws off the tops, an extra purchase. They really were hoping for one. They're kind of not really seeing anything too useful and feeling like they're being left behind again on the points chart. Green took some card draws, didn't get enough to get the last god. They're playing their extra action and do a movement and shoot all the way up there. They had a lot of movement cards. Hopefully I spent them all, along with the free bonus, and they were able to shoot their way all the way up and get another thing. They had to use a prior column to move through in order to get there, which is kind of cool. Blue also took a movement action in order to get this so that they could raise this. That'll give them enough that they can get this god. There were other ways to do it, but, well, I don't know. They've got kind of this... They've got this in play too, so they may be able to do something even more impressive. I'm not sure. We'll see. This was the more flexible option for red. Red drew a card. Not much they could do. They've got a nice lead there. Yellow also, I believe, drew a card rather than play. Oh, no. Yellow flew over there to grab themselves a 3-bucker. It's not going to do them any good, but it's a nice little, they're not going to get another turn is basically what it comes down to. So that won't help them, but it's okay. They got to use their feet. And yeah, I was wrong about blue. They upgraded so that they had a good chance of it. They had to draw into it, so they did a draw action, got enough cards, and they ended up getting enough to buy this final god. His special ability isn't going to help him, but the nice thing is he gets 5 points for that, or 6 points for that, which puts him up here, and then another 3 for ending the round there. He's in range. Doesn't look like, well, he's got the best column position, so he may be winning. We're gonna, I guess, score it. All right, let's do that. Now let me take my feet off the table first, because they kind of confuse things. Well, for scoring, I think it's always more fun to let the last people see how far they can catch up. So let's take a look at what we get here. First things first, we score. Well, let's see. What do they say? They say to do the minor gods first. Doesn't really matter. That's only 5 points. Didn't gain a lot there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No biggie. On the gods, this one gives them 1. That's not going to help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. They got themselves up to the top on this turn. Not to the top, but to the highest they could. 8 times 3, another 24 points. 4. And then that's going to put me up to 67. Over here. Alright. Well, I think blue's going to win here. Or at least they're in the running. They got a bit of room to grow there, but they've got a lot of towers. Let's see. First things first, 5 points for gods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No bonus points for anything here. So all they got is their cylinders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's at 3 per. That's 30 points. That's going to put them at 75. We'll give them a little 50. You don't really need these 50s. It's pretty obvious when somebody laps the table. Alright, let's see about yellow. Lots of these. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's put them at 52. Bonuses. They got a double of this. That's 8 more points. And then we got their columns, and they don't have many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 2 per. Gives them 10 more points. And now finally red, who was in the lead. Let's see where they end up. Lots of minor gods. 10, 14, 15 points for that. That should put them at 61. Oh. Doesn't look like they have any god point bonuses there, which is a pity because they're built up for it nicely, but they didn't get it. And their columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gets them in the bonus place again, 24. Sounds like 35 to me. 24 and 11. That's where we have it. Red managed to hold their lead. Blue's extra couple of columns is only 6 points because red was able to get their multiplier up high enough. And, you know, you have a lot of different opportunities to move in different ways. What I find, though, is that, first of all, there is a certain flow to the game. The columns end up starting out valuable. They stay valuable throughout the game. The problem is you don't have the opportunity to get to them easily anymore. So that really kind of changes the tenor, and it becomes more interested in the gods because the gods become more valuable on their single hit. But there is a lot of opportunity and a lot of assessment going on when you're trying to look and say, geez, you know, what is it that I can gain the most from at this point? You've got the luck with the hand of cards. You've got a bunch of different things working in together. That, you know, in this particular game, what can I say? You know, blue was able to go for feet. Going for feet means that you're going to get a lot of columns. I thought that would do them well. But alternatively, we can see, hey, you know, red collected up a lot of points in the minor and major gods, managing to take the opportunities as they went with less of a building situation, and ended up getting on that same highest level as blue. Now, if blue could have pushed every column out, I think they had it, you know, because what is that? First of all, that's another 12 points. just for the columns themselves, which puts them ahead right there. And then, you know, another potential, they were at 2, so another 6 points for the extra 2 columns that I haven't counted in yet. So if you can get to that 12 level, you're bonused. If you can't make it to the 8 level, you're penalized. But once you're in one of those broad spectrums, it's not that big a deal to give somebody a few extra points, because you can get those same few extra points from something else. Some of it definitely comes down to the luck at the end, though, and what other people are able to manage. So you're constantly, you know, somebody's going to be able to dick you over by grabbing the thing you want. All right, I'll load this up. I'll come back with some review thoughts, I guess, although I think I actually said most of them in the wrap.